The new moon in Cancer is one of the most emotionally significant new beginnings of the year. New moons are for planting, for intentions, for the seeds you want to tend across the next lunar cycle and beyond. And Cancer, the sign of home, of emotional safety, of the deep roots that allow everything else to grow, makes this particular new moon an invitation to begin something that starts from the inside out. Cancer is the sign of the crab, the one who carries her home within her, who built protection not from fear but from wisdom, knowing that the soft, feeling interior requires a container strong enough to hold it while it does the deep work. Cancer knows that before you can give, you have to receive. Before you can build outward, you have to know what home feels like within. This new moon is asking, what does emotional home feel like for you? Not the house, not the relationship, not the external container, but the internal one. The place within yourself where you feel genuinely, actually safe to be fully who you are. Where nothing has to be managed or contained or performed. Where you can need what you need without apology. This is where the new beginning starts. Not in the strategy, not in the plan, in the emotional home that makes the rest possible. This new moon also occurs with Mercury still in retrograde in Cancer, which means the new beginnings we're planting have a reflective inward quality. This is not a new moon for big external launches. It's a new moon for deep internal seeding, for the quiet, private intention that becomes a root before it becomes anything visible. So let it be quiet. Let it be real. Let it be yours. Now let's find a comfortable position. This meditation asks your body to be soft, not rigid, not perfect, just soft and held. Now take a slow, deep breath in and release. Let this exhale be like arriving somewhere safe, like closing the door behind you after a long day and feeling the relief of being home. Again, deep breath in and out, less braced, less tense. And one more. This time on the exhale, let whatever you've been holding for other people today release. The worry for them, the management of them, the carrying of things that are not yours. Let it go at the door. This time is for you. Good. Welcome home. You are here. Cancer asks us to find home within ourselves before we look for it anywhere else. And for many of us, especially empaths who have spent so much time in other people's emotional worlds, this can be genuinely unfamiliar territory. What does it feel like to be fully home within yourself? Not performing okay, not managing, not present for someone else's experience, but actually home, in your own emotional body, in your own inner world, comfortable being exactly what you are in this moment. Let yourself feel for that. It might be a physical sensation, a softening in the chest, a settling in the belly, a sense of being held by something that you can't quite name. It might be a memory of a specific moment when you felt completely like yourself. It might just be the quality of your breath, easier, less held. Find that feeling, however small or partial, and let yourself fully be in it. You don't have to manufacture it. You just have to stop moving away from it long enough to feel it. This is emotional home. And under this Cancer new moon, we're planting our seed here, in this feeling, not in a plan or a strategy or a vision board, in the felt sense of what it is to be genuinely home in yourself. Cancer also rules needs, the genuine human, unglamorous needs for rest, for care, to be known, to belong, to feel safe, to love and be loved without it costing you yourself. So I want to ask you, with the tenderness that this moon deserves, what do you actually need right now? Not what you think you should need, not the spiritual version, not the evolved version, the actual human need underneath all of it. Let it be something simple if it's something simple. Let it be surprising if that's what it is. Let it be uncomfortable if it points at something that you've been not quite admitting to yourself. You are allowed to need what you need. Needing something is not weakness, it's information. And Cancer, the great nurturer, knows that the one who gives everything without ever receiving is not a giver. They are a wound waiting to happen. Under this new moon, I want you to make a commitment, not to the universe, not to a practice, not to a habit, a commitment to that need, to take it seriously, to give it something real. So, repeat this after me, out loud or in your mind. I am allowed to need what I need. My needs are not burdens. They are information about who I am and what allows me to thrive. I commit to taking my genuine needs seriously. I commit to receiving as well as giving. I commit to building the internal home that makes everything else possible. New moons are for planting, and under this Cancer new moon, we plant something that begins from emotional truth rather than ambition or strategy. What do you want to call in over the next lunar cycle and beyond? Not just the external thing, but the feeling underneath of it. Not, I want the relationship, but I want to feel genuinely known and safe. Not, I want the income, but I want the ease and the freedom and the sense of being provided for. Not, I want that body, but I want to feel at home in my physical self. So go to that feeling underneath the goal. That is where this seed goes. Let the intention form, not as a demand or a manifestation formula, but as a genuine, honest request from your deepest self. A seed placed in fertile emotional ground, under this dark sky, in the quiet before the light returns. Now repeat your intention out loud or in your mind, the full version, the honest version, the one that starts from feeling rather than strategy, and let it be as specific or as simple as it needs to be. And so it is. It is planted. The new moon receives it, and the next cycle begins here. Cancer gives us two things that belong together: the shell and the softness inside it, the protection and the permission to be genuinely tender underneath of it. I want to give you both right now. First, the shell. You are allowed to protect yourself. You are allowed to have boundaries around what has access to your emotional interior. You are allowed to be selective about who you let all the way in. Sensitivity is not permission for others to be careless with you. You get to decide what your field is open to and what it is not. Now, the softness. You are allowed to be tender. You are allowed to feel everything that you feel without immediately managing it into something more acceptable. You are allowed to need, to grieve, to hope, to be moved, to be exactly as sensitive as you are without it being a problem. The shell is not for hiding the softness. The shell is for protecting it long enough to let it do what it came here to do. So, you get both. You're allowed to have both. Now, take another full, deep breath and let it be warm and slow. Today, you've found your emotional home. You've acknowledged what you genuinely need. You've planted your seed in the feeling underneath of your goal. And you've claimed both the protection and the permission. That is the Cancer new moon fully being honored. Over the next 2 weeks, as the moon grows towards full again, tend this seed, not by constantly checking on it, but by staying in that feeling that planted it, by taking your needs seriously, by coming home to yourself again and again every time the world pulls you away. The crab carries her home within her. She doesn't look for safety, she becomes it. And everything else, the movement, the building, the offering to the world, flows from that internal home that she has learned to tend. That's the invitation of this new moon. Build the home inside first, then let everything else grow from that. Happy new moon in Cancer. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes.